going to go over kind of some basics on, you're just starting drums, you don't know where to go, where do I buy a set, how much is it going to cost me, what do I look for? Well, hopefully I can answer some of those questions. And the point is, I'm learning myself, so I'm going to tell you what I found and what's helped me. Okay, so when I first started, I don't want to spend a lot of money on it because I don't know if I'm going to be any good at it or if I'm going to like it. I'm a guitar player by nature for a few years, so I can play the guitar, but the drums are something totally different. It's coordination is crazy, so it's going to take a lot of practice. But initially I bought the drums for my daughter and my son and me. So I'm obviously their father, so I have to go out and find what it is I'm looking for so that they can learn drums, get their hands on them, play with them. You know, there's something about hands-on. Technique and paradiddles and rudimentaries and all the stuff that you're going to learn throughout your learning career in drums, that's all great, but to get your hands on them is a totally different thing. So you want to get your hands on drums. So what do you do? Well, I looked on eBay, looked on Craigslist, looked on classified ads, penny savers, everywhere I could look, I looked. Asked friends and family and people that I knew and didn't know, and just went crazy at it, right? Well, finally, I found someone getting rid of a set. A guy at work knew somebody who was getting rid of a set. So $250 for a set. This set is a little bit unique with its history because what's happened is this kid who's getting rid of them, he's going to college, needs some money, but the set was originally his father's. His father's still alive, still in the industry, entertainment industry, so on and so forth. But so it was his father's and handed down to him. So it's a swing star, as you can see. We'll kind of go over what was purchased and what I needed to get. But so $250 swing star. It's about 30 years old. You can tell by the finding out as I went along. The logo of Tama, they used to be made in Japan, and now they're made, I don't know, somewhere else. Doesn't mean it's better or worse. It's just you can tell kind of how old it is based on that. From a certain amount of time it was built, and they were made in Japan, and then after that they were made somewhere else. They're made out of wood, but they have a coating on them. So when you look inside of them, you're like, ooh, that looks like particle board. It looks like, I'm looking at them right now, it looks like cork. But it's not. It's just a coating. I don't know, they thought it would sound better, so that's what they did. So, what I got was a 5-piece Tama set swing star, which is their lowest model, and even back then it was their lowest model, and several cymbals. And so I got a tom, the hardware. The only thing I didn't get was a throne, in which I had to purchase, and they're not cheap. So, you know, if you can get the whole set, which you can. So my suggestion is don't be in a huge hurry, but start practicing your rudimentaries and your paradiddles and stuff like that on a practice pad with some drumsticks while you're looking for a drum set. Okay. Because the more patient you are, the better deal you're going to get. I've heard of deals for $180 where you get a pretty beginner set, but it has all the hardware, everything's matching, so on and so forth. So there are deals out there like that. I wasn't patient enough, but got a good deal because the cymbals and hardware alone of what I got, even though they don't match up, they're still worth some money. So if I wanted to resell this whole thing, it would be worth probably the same amount, $250. What I had to do is there was more cymbals than stands, so I had to buy a couple stands, some cheap, just the lowest 2-pack of boom stands, which they're so lightweight that you have to put the little cymbals on them, which is perfectly fine. So, comes with hardware, comes with drums, comes with a snare stand, kick pedal, which was not, it's not a Tama, it's a PDP, 2 toms that are connected into the bass drum, and a floor tom It's pretty typical 5-piece set, plus, like I said, all the cymbals. And when you buy used, you tend to get things like this, where it's broken, as you can see. So that's basically throwaway. We throw that away. Also didn't come with a throne, had to go buy a throne, as I said before. So that leaves me to what you need to typically do with them. So I had my floor tom, specifically I had to buy the bottom ring and the bottom resonance head. And you have two parts to a drum, you'll find out later in other things. You have a batter head, which is the top that you hit with your sticks, and your resonance, which causes a deeper, more, well, kind of a deeper, more powerful tone. Without it, it's not the same. It's harder to tune. At least that's what was told to me by a professional. So if that's not true and you people disagree, please let me know. I'm not going to take offense because I'm learning. And if you're learning too, then hopefully I can help you out here. So I had to get the lugs, the ring, and the batter head. So that cost about $35 altogether for everything. So not bad, not bad. So that got the tom working. The snare, you'll find out the snare wires on mine were bad, along with the batter head was bad because the coating came off. So there's a coating on some of these heads, and it came off. It's starting to peel a little bit, and we'll need to replace that. So I'm going to actually do a tune-up to the snare in my next episode, where I'm going to replace the batter head, the resonance head, and the wire, and wipe it off. And I have a little trick that was told to me by a professional that I've not seen on YouTube. So it's using what's called paraffin wax, which is typically used for canning, to put around the bead edge, the leading edge of the drum, so that when you put the head on, it tends to have a better seat and will hold its tune potentially better. That was also told to me by a pro, but those are insider things that I didn't know about. I mean, I couldn't find it on YouTube either when I searched, but we'll do that on the next episode. So we'll do a before and after on sound as well, with tuning and replacing those heads. So as you can see with the pictures and the video of the drum set, it's not a bad set for $250. You can hold out as long as you can, and maybe you can get something more. But you're going to look for a 5-piece, a throne, something with a hi-hat, the hardware to hold it, the cymbals, at least a crash and maybe a ride, and the difference between those, as far as I know, and I'll educate you later once I really kind of look it up, is the ride is something that you play in replace of the hi-hat. You need both, right? It's just a different sound. And the crash is obviously when you go, oh, psh, and it crashes, right? So at least one of each of those. The hi-hat 5-piece is ideal because it just kind of gives you overall everything. A kick pedal, and if you're gonna, chances are what I'm doing is I'm replacing all the heads on them just so I get a good sound, and everything's fresh. So don't worry so much about the heads on them. If they're good condition, good, excellent. Chances are you're gonna have to replace them. Wait until they go on sale. So patience is a virtue if you're gonna want to save some money. That's pretty much it. You know, you're going to want to look to make sure the hardware and the attachments and the screws. I had to buy a couple wing nuts because one was missing as well. But with a little bit of time and effort, and you know, answers from people that you might know to help you, kind of guide you along, you'll get it in no time at all. So if you have any questions, please let me know. But this is the set that it's pretty typical that I've seen. It's not the same exact set everywhere I've seen, but for $250, it's pretty much what you're going to get. You can get a better deal, possibly, if you hold out. Thanks for watching. If you have any more questions, please contact us, and we'll be happy to answer anything or give us advice, and we'll read some of your comments online. So thanks for watching.